Hey everyone, welcome to the 11th episode of the add-on of the week. We have made 11 of these so far. It's almost unbelievable. Now these videos don't really get that many views in comparison to the other videos I do, but I'll probably still keep doing them because a few people have reached out to me and said, wow, this is pretty good. I didn't know this add-on existed. If it helps anyone out, I'll do it. So in regards to this add-on, it's going to be called combat metrics. Now, a lot of people have probably heard of combat metrics, whether you raid in trials or whether you PvP or not. A lot of people probably have heard of it on both console and PC. As always give thanks to your add-on developer. It's always appreciated, guys. Like, add-on developers always do this, almost thankless work, and they any appreciative word sent to them, or gold if you want to donate to them or anything, that's always appreciated. Really huge thanks to Solinur. I think combat metrics has been a staple, especially in PvE, for quite some time. And it's only recently that ESOLogs came out to sort of not really replace it. I mean, people still use combat metrics nowadays, even with ESOLogs available, but to supplement it. So, yep, thank you very much. So first thing we're going to start with is how it works, or rather what it is first. So combat metrics basically does a lot of things in the background. So after a fight ends, you can open up this report that you have to keybind first. So a lot of people are confused with this first step because they think, it just pops up automatically. You have to actually keybind it first, toggle report. And you also have the options of posting your single target or multi-target or both in group chat. And that's how people link their DPS, or have been since quite a long time. So you have to keybind this add-on first. And when you open up the report, so I did a random Ellsworth Dragon world boss fight. So I could get really good samples because there's a lot of people who go to these things. So here we have, it's very overwhelming at first, but let me just break it down. So over here, we have the active time and in combat time here. That's basically showing you how long the fight lasted and how long you were in combat for. We got the damage here, we got player damage, and if you were in a party, it will say group damage here as well. And you also have the option of looking at this little black box here that shows up while you fight, and you can see in progress every second you're engaged in combat what the total group DPS is. So I wasn't in a group, so it's just showing my DPS, and here's my healing done per second, and here's whatever. I think that's block. I'm pretty sure that's block, or how much damage I'm taking. And then here we have the duration of the fight. So this part right here shows you, and this part has really helped a lot of people out, because this part shows you, okay, well, here's how much magicka you've been using up, and if there's elemental drain on the boss or not. And we have the average max magicka we had and the max magicka we have. Some people understand why is there an average, because there's things like aggressive horn and stuff like that that can change this to the max. Spell damage, again, same thing. You have modifiers like infused weapon / spell damage glyph, spell crit damage, spell pen, how much penetration you have. Obviously, it will also show you how much you're overpenning by, which is typically around 18,300 on the target. And this window right here, it will show you debuffs, right? And, well, not debuffs, but buffs rather, for yourself. And if you actually target the dragon and you go debuffs out, you'll see how much, or rather what the uptimers were from like Linebreaker, Alkosh, Crusher, stuff like that. It's not showing anything because I wasn't in a group, but I expect to find it here. And here you can basically look into pretty much what I referred to back here in terms of resources, more specifics. So here we see that we somehow got Meridia's favor from the people who were at the dragon event. So I got Meridia's favor 5 times, and that's pretty much the really cool specifics that you can see here. And Stam, if you're a Stam DPS, this is going to be more specific to you. That's that window over there. Here, this is the target window, and you can actually select on each target to see, of course, the debuffs and so on. And an interesting fact, you can also check out healing done. So even though I wasn't in the group, it still tracked how much healing I was doing and on who. So over here in this window, I can click on this guy and see, you know, how much I healed him for and so on. And if you keep going, see, the only heal I pretty much used was Honor the Dead, and that's all it's showing. And that's pretty much it. And you have other things like damage received. You can also see in a raid how many times people shielded, stuff like that. It's basically ESOLogs, but ESOLogs is much more better. It's much more specific, and of course, it's more easily shareable. So, but combat metrics is still definitely a solid add-on. And if you look here, there's a combat log as well, and you can filter things such as, you know, your healing events, your received damage events, and receive healing events. Obviously, the more filters you have on, you know, the more cluttered the log will be. But again, you can really get into the specifics of what happened during the fight. And this was a great tool, and still is a great tool for raid leads to look at, for DPS healers and tanks to look at, and to, you know, like improve their performance in a raid. And that's pretty much it. It's not really used for any toxicity or perceived toxicity. I mean, for, you know, being toxic towards people. But that's pretty much it. It has really neat features like this graph and so on. It also gives you some options as well, like showing the unique ID abilities, and this can be really helpful when you're setting up another add-on like Strandar. And that is pretty much it. Really great add-on, and it was improved a lot over the years. Again, huge thanks to Solinur for coming up with this add-on, and, you know, still updating it patch after patch. But yeah, that is gonna be it. That's pretty much gonna be it for today, guys. As always, stay safe, have fun, and see you next time.